You know, this is something we're just getting into now for Northfield. We have a site called Winnetka now, and it's just about local businesses, and Linda and I decided that we would like to start one for Northfield.
We own Carlos and Carlos in Arlington Heights. We started with Carlos and Carlos in Arlington Heights.
Was that your first place here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Carlos and Carlos started in 1985. It's a Northern Italian in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And then from there we move on to the island of Curacao. We also went, we opened Frescos in North Pier, Perinos on Wells, Carlos and Carlos in Westchester. Then we opened Evanston.
What were you in Evanston?
In Evanston, we used to own La Grota restaurant. Then we sold some of them, mm-hmm. and we only kept Capriccios and Carlos in Arlington Heights. And they'll just this coming June 20th, we open Carlos and Carlos at the International Airport in Guatemala City in Central America. We own Capriccios is the restaurant side of what we do for a living. What we do, in addition to that, we own coffee farms and macadamia farms in Central America, Costa Rica and Guatemala. It was just natural that we take advantage of the business in Central America to open a restaurant. So Guatemala is going to be the first international restaurant in Central America, and then after that we're going to go to Honduras, Salvador, and Costa Rica.
So you do a lot of traveling.
We do. I am. I'm the one who... Mm-hmm. The talent remains in Chicago. I'm the one who does the
So how do you decide where you want to be?
Well, when officially the brand new airport put all the sites for bidding, mm-hmm. we were lucky enough to be called without bidding. The officials for the airport came to dine to Carlos and Carlos in Arlington Heights, and they liked what they saw. So they invite us over to open a restaurant inside the terminal. It's a very desirable site when you go inside the airport, because you have captive audience. Normally, the bidding process here and anywhere in the world, it starts at $35,000 and it goes to $500,000.
Just to bid.
Just to bid. It's a gratuity.
And you didn't even have to do that.
Well, we were invited, to open. So we're gonna have.
That's quite an honor.
We have been blessed. It's lucky.
Northfield's blessed.
Yes.
It looks like you have a great bar here.
Yes.
Do you have quite a few people who hang out here?
We do. This is the right now when we have the tournaments, the basketball tournaments, this bar gets packed. And it's a residential restaurant. However, people come and hang around, and with appetizers and a cocktail. And
do you have some signature drinks?
We have. We came from Hawaii, really. Mario was my roommate in Hawaii, so we have the Keoki coffee. We have the from Mai Tais to any exotic drinks, but in reality, Carlos and Carlos coffee is the most natural coffee.
And you serve that here?
We serve our coffee here. We add the brandy, Tia Maria, and just a touch of Baileys. It's very tasty.
Mm-hmm. Do you sell your coffee or your nuts here?
We haven't been able to sell our coffee that we grow in the farms because we use Starbucks buys every bean. Starbucks company buys all the harvest, so we don't get to keep nothing other than only for our own consumption. So they buy the whole harvest.
People are always curious. You're international. You've lived in a number of places. Why did you pick Chicago?
Well, quite honestly, we used to live in Hawaii. One of my dearest friends.
And you got tired of the weather there?
Well, in a way, you get claustrophobic in Hawaii. You can only go from one end to the island to another end to the island. And my dear friend Nick Nicholas opened the first Nick's Fish Market restaurant here in Chicago, and I kept to help them out.
was one of my favorite places, a great
Yeah.
place.
Yes,
Great
we
place.
Nick is the godfather of my child, so I came to help him out, and then I brought Mario with me, and then I convinced my brother Eddy to come to give Nick a run for his money.
Ah.
So we opened our own company.
Did you bring them here in the summer times, or?
No, as a matter of fact, it was winter time when you came. It was a horrible experience.
I was.
But
And what did you think when you first saw Chicago winter?
Well, you know, the first time I wanted to come back right away, you know, but then after a while, you know, when I came, I really fall in love with it. You know,
Chicago,
it's our kind of town.
you have,
you know, it's a lot of things
we have everything we want in Chicago.
to do. Yeah.
Surely the weather is sometimes a block, but it's not a big deal. You know, I have been lucky. I travel all over the place, from Europe to Central America to South America. I still visit my friends in Hawaii. But Chicago, the Midwest, it gives something that the rest of the United States don't give. The rest of the here we.
Being a business in Northfield, what do you find being a business in Northfield?
I couldn't be luckier in Northfield. We just celebrating our 20 years last year, or this
Year we're gonna do.
20 years this year. We have been absolutely lucky. We fill a niche it needed to be filled. We need to have more restaurants around us because it will bring more people to Northfield. It will generate, you know,
There's gonna be
incomes.
a-
Yes, we can hardly wait. We went there to invite them over, you know, but right now they haven't been able to open yet. So we're looking forward to have them around here and get to know them. I don't know much about them other than they trying to open a month ago, I guess. But the more people come into Northfield, the better all will be. We had been blessed in this little site. It was never to be intended to have a restaurant in here. This one was supposed to be a retail shop. The whole complex wanted to have one restaurant only, which is where the tapas place is.
We still have Maisons Amicas.
Yeah, that was a French restaurant when we came. We were my blushes. Blushes. Remember blushes?
Yeah.
Well, we were invited by the owner of the complex, Jim Otis. And Jim Otis suggested we should open a restaurant in here, but we were not. The place itself was not suited to be for a restaurant. So we did a great deal of build-up, and we are not sorry at all. We have been quite blessed.
And we're very happy.
We
Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Now we should have lunch, aren't we?
We would love